On to our next how-to on the Smart Spark LS. Once everything's been downloaded in the software on your computer and you're ready to start connecting and editing, come right over here to our PC link Smart Spark. Open that up. Once that's open, we'll go right up here to the top where it says Communications. Drop down menu, we're going to download from the EEPROM. This basically lets us know firmware ID. We have established communications. We're going to go ahead and download. Shows you we're reading the EEPROM. Show you that we have the data is downloaded, ready to edit. Click on OK. Then this is our main screen that'll pop up on a box that's brand new, hasn't been programmed. So a couple things here. This is where if you want to do individual cylinder timing, you check that. If not, you leave it off. If you need automatic start retard, you would check that box. Fixed RPM. This basically allows you to set the RPM limits internally and it'll override the external rotary switches. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and move this up to 6800. That's 6800. As it comes, we're set up to use the switch selection on the external portion of the box. This is going to be for doing a custom table, so we're going to click Custom Table. Now this gives you the option now to disable or use a 1, 2, or 3 bar. For most of you guys that are going to be disabling it, I'm going to do this video like that. For guys that are going to use the 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, you just click that and then that'll give you your tables for your map table. So we're going to disable the map sensor. We'll click OK. Page goes blank. Then we'll go back up in here to our edit drop down menu. And then we're going to edit our GPI parameters. This is basically going to open up the page for doing our nitrous retard, our two-step, and if you want to do the second stage of retard or your RTD timing knob, this is where you're going to select all that. I generally like to use the GPI 2 for your two-step. That way it kind of corresponds with two-step on your number 2 input to kind of make it a little bit easier. By clicking this little round dot, it's going to show us our launch RPM, and this is basically set up here for 3000. So wherever you want to set it to, that right there is where you're going to set your RPM two-step limit to. You can just change it right there. And then on this, we're going to go ahead and set it up. We're going to do our digital retard for our nitrous, so we'll click that. We're going to move this value. Again, it's adjustable from 1 to 20. I'm going to plug in a value of 8 degrees retard. So with that being done, we're not going to use anything on GPI 3, so that's turned off, so we'll go ahead and click OK. Screen goes blank just like it's supposed to. Then back up here to our drop down menu, edit, and then we're going to go to edit timing table. Now be cautious on this because there's two different deals. There's edit timing table and then there's edit the new timing table. This isn't going to be used for anything when we're doing a custom table. Basically what this allows you to do is look at the factory preset 0 through 9. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to click on that. That will open this up, and then this will pull up our advanced switch. So say you want to look at what the timing scaling is for rotary switch 9, or whichever number you want to look at. So right there we have it set up for 9. We'll hit update, hit OK, and then basically it pulls up our graph. So this is where our rotary switch is for number 9 on the box if you're using the switchable table. Now keep in mind that this is set up using a map sensor. So if you're not using a map sensor, we have to do the custom table. But I just want to let you guys know, if you want to look through 0 through 9 on the rotary dials, this will tell you the preloaded switch settings. So since we're not using that, we're just going to close that table. It asks save edits to buffer. Even though we didn't change anything, you can click yes, no, whichever you'd like to. So for the guys that are doing the custom table, we're going to go back up here, camera focus in here, and we're going to go to edit timing table. that'll open up. And then this is basically your timing table. There's a graph for the guys that want to view graph, but then this down here is where you're going to plug in all your numbers. One of the quick ways to do, basically with the timing map sensor disabled, it'll always default to the 16. But just to make it easier, I'm going to show you how to highlight and modify these tables and all the cells just to make it a little bit quicker. If you drag your cursor right over here to the top and we left click, that highlights the whole cell top to bottom. So this is 0 RPM, so this is where our cranking table and function is going to basically fall into. With that left clicked and highlighted, we're going to then right click and it opens up our little modify table, copy or modify. So we want to modify. Click on that. It opens up this little box here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to enter a value of 12 degrees for cranking. So we'll enter 12, hit enter. It then changes down here to our 12 degrees from top to bottom. Then if we want to go over for 500 RPM, left click, it highlights all the cell rows. Then we will right click, modify, and this is going to be for our 500 RPM table. It goes right back up here. So say here, we're going to put a value of 18. 18, enter, and then it changes all our values down there to 18. Then again, for 1000, same deal. Left click, highlights, right click, we're going to modify. It'll open up our little window here, and at 1000 RPM we're going to put wherever you want to put it. I'm just using this for demonstration purposes. We're going to put 22 degrees, enter. So now we have 12 degrees at cranking, 18 at 500, and then at 1000 we have 22. And you can kind of play with this, tailor it. I'm just, like I said, this is just for demonstration purposes. So what I'm going to do here, from 1500 on up, some of these guys like to just lock it out completely across. So while I'm holding down the left click cursor, I'm going to drag this all the way over. So now we have basically all of our cells highlighted. So we're going to go ahead and just lock it out for the guys that just want to lock it out. So we'll go, everything again, this was left click. Then we'll right click. We're going to click on the modify here. Modify. Opens up our little window. So say we're going to go and say we want to run 32 degrees flat out. So 32, enter. So now basically we have this entire table that we've highlighted. 1500 on up, we're at 32 degrees all the way across. So basically from 1500 on RPM on up, you're at 32 degrees. Again, your combination engine, camshaft, carburetor, gearing will all affect this. This is just a demonstrational video. I'm not saying this is where your timing needs to be. Everyone's gonna have to play around with this doing your custom tables. Basically, once that's done and we're done editing, we'll have to go back up here to our edit menu. So we'll go to edit, and then we're going to save table edits to buffer. Make sure you do this or else it's not going to want to save the table. So save table edits to buffer. We'll click that. Screen goes blank. Once the screen goes blank, we're going to go up here to file. We're going to give it a file name. So we're going to save file, and then just whatever file you want to basically give it, your car program 1, 2. We're going to name this demo 1 so we know what we got. So demo 1. And then we will click over here on save. Now that's basically saved. And when you're going to upload the Smart Spark, you basically, with the file open, it'll tell you PC Link Smart Spark version 2.1, and then it'll show you which file you have open. We have demo 1 is basically the file that we just did. So with that being done, and you're ready to flash the box, obviously it'll be in the car, powered up. I've got it here on my desk. Got the Smart Spark. Got my little cabling powered up through a little power unit going into my desktop. So with that done, the box is powered on. We're going to go up here to our communications tab, drop down. We're going to upload to the EEPROM. So basically we're going to program from the PC to the EEPROM. We click upload. It basically shows us firmware ID that it's got communication. If you don't have communication, it'll say RS32 not complete or incorrect port. You need to check your power, your wires, your cabling, your switches, make sure all that's correct. So now we know that that's done and it's seeing it. We're going to click that, and then programming EEPROM, verifying, and then basically gives us another little window. Upload complete. Turn off your power for 5 seconds before you start the engine, and basically once that's done, click OK. At this point, you can either turn off the program, turn off the power, doesn't matter, whichever way you'd like to do it. And then you're basically ready to start it up and start making your modifications and going from there. That's basically the quick little tutorial on how to do this. Like I said, you'll have to play around with your timing tables to see what your engine combination likes, but hopefully this helps make it a little bit easier on doing that.